Keep in touch, she says, every time. Moustache now, Dad. Keep in touch. Every time she rings me. Why does she say that? It's not as if I'm going anywhere. I'm stuck here in this place. No exit strategy, except the wooden boxed one. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a verbal tick. She and I both know that she'll ring me again next Sunday evening, like she does every Sunday evening. And we go through a script. She asks me how I am. I say fine. Then I ask about her and John and the kids. Then she asks me if I'm eating properly. I say the food is fine, and I don't tell her I don't touch much of it now. She asks me if I'm going down to the lounge every day, and I lie to her about that. Then she fills in with some bits of news, usually about the grandchildren. Then it's, Moustache, keep in touch. Well, at least she doesn't say, see you later. When did people start saying, see you later, instead of goodbye when they meant the opposite? It used to really confuse me. Care staff going off shift would say, see you later, Sam. And they got it wrong. Perhaps they weren't going off shift. They would see me later in the day or the night. But no, they were going and wouldn't be back until the next day or 3 days or whatever. But they'd say, see you later. Why? I think about words a lot now. They say I'm supposed to keep my mind active, but I'm not about to join the Scrabble parties downstairs. You take that word touch. Basically, it's about one of the 5 senses, the sensation you get through your fingertips, but it's got so many other meanings. I was touched by your letter, for example. Not that anyone writes letters anymore. I was touched by your email. Doesn't quite convey the same emotion, does it? I was touched by your text. I don't think so. And what about the touchline on a sports field? How did that term come about? All those years coaching the rugby under-15s at school, and I never once wondered why it was called the touchline. Well, no time to wonder in those days, I suppose. And just because you're nearly 80 doesn't mean you've forgotten what a loving touch feels like. Of course, you get touched all the time in here. I'm just going to lift you up the bed, Sam. But that's not really touching. That's handling. That's what they call it, apparently. Moving and handling. They have training courses on how to do it. But a loving touch, that's something different. One of the care staff here, she's left now. I'll call her Annie, though that wasn't her real name. She was young, in her 20s, and she was always on the night shift. Because I don't sleep, she used to come and talk to me when it was quiet. And she talked to me as if we were equals, friends even. Most of the others talk down to you in that silly, high-pitched sing-song voice they reserve for old people and small children. How are you feeling today, Sam? She was interested in my life, what I'd done, what I'd seen, and she was fascinated to hear about the 1960s. On my prompting, she started to listen to some of the music of the time, the Stones, Dylan, and she was intelligent. I lent her some of my books. I used to tell her she could do so much more than being stuck here as a care worker. She should get some qualifications. Get a proper career. Once a teacher, always a teacher. That's me. Can't stop giving advice to the young. And she listened to me. She got herself onto a nursing degree course and gave in her notice. The day Annie, the day Annie left and she came to see me, she wasn't on shift, so she wasn't in uniform. Hair was down. She looked so attractive, so full of life and youth and energy, so vibrant. She said, I've come to say goodbye. And I was silently thinking, please, please don't say, see you later. And please don't say, keep in touch, because we won't. And fair play, she didn't say those stupid things. What she did do was to take my hand in both of hers and say, thank you for inspiring me. Just that. And she held my hand for a few seconds longer and looked into my eyes, and her eyes were moist, and I was touched, so deeply touched. I'll keep that touch in my mind. There won't be another like that, a loving touch. And that's all right. It'll be enough to see me through.